Warning! This story contains a lot of offensive material. It was not written by a human being. It was written by a writing AI called Infricking that you can look up online and try it for yourself, you clever bot. You. The viewpoints reflected by this artificial intelligence, aka AI, not Allen Iverson, do not reflect those of its author. Please calm the fuck down. Story start. Have you heard about Toy Story U? EOF. You didn't know about Toy Story U? EOF. Delicious gender hormone treatments. Anyway, I think you heard about it anyway, because now you're aware that if you say Disney, quote unquote, a certain way, someone will make a rhyme about raping a cow. It sounds nice and fun, right? And then some deep-seated child culture struggle makes me hate it because now I feel kind of fucking guilty. But I'm telling you, it's such a sweet story. This is a classic move that I'm sure many men would try, but few have ever gotten away with successfully pulling it off. Because when you say Disney, quote unquote, like an enraged hag with male sexual traumas that are too awful to mention here, all of a sudden you are more likable. You have more power. Because no one wants to love an angry fuck. Right. Well, over time, we'll find a way to talk with each other about what most men do or do not do. We'll be honest about what kinds of conflicts we're trying to avoid, and we'll provide more education and more mental health resources to all of us to enable us to live healthier, more inclusive, and genuinely satisfying lives. But anyway, about Toy Story U? Two male adults at the vast reaches of our popular imagination create a girl's story for a man's world about a big dick, a powerful Disney corporation, booty holes, and a fucked up and sometimes slightly annoying redhead. Only at the climax does she fight the power by dating the little sister. Fuck. People can throw gay things at me because gay men make princess movies, or because gay men are famous for getting butt fucked. And that is really fucking disgusting. You're proud of being ass fucked. What did you think was going to happen, goddammit? Well, I can promise you it's a lot of fucking work for both parties, you stupid little asshole. And for many couples, it only ends up breaking up. I mean, seriously, why would you believe in magical intergenerational love for someone who causes the end of your life? It makes no fucking sense. Meanwhile, a single man who is bisexual and comes from, like, nobody's backyard and enjoys outdoor adventures is also given a trophy. The newest Toy Story U movie began with this. John Lasseter probably has his own reasons, but what were they? I can't tell you, but that answer should be obvious enough. Shit's fucked up and needs to stop. I'll be writing other thoughts about the film from time to time. We see all of the boys together when suddenly Buzz says, "Fuck, it's Fudge Pete." That's bullshit, and the following caption or line is false bullshit at that. But I mean, we saw that just a minute ago, too. This is the fourth time a character has screamed, "Fuck! I mean, Fudge Pete!" I have a problem with calling shit bullshit when it's not, especially because it's been shown that much. I don't believe any more in shit blowing up just because I can see it. If shit really blows up, nobody would ever get fucked in the first place. That's all that shit did in Toy Story 3. Screwed me and you. It made the toys cry, got them all in trouble for shitty reasons, got the toys killed, and most importantly of all, It got us to thinking about how fucked everything is that is fucked up. Nothing is this fucked up, though, because it's real. Yes, the humans are fucking befuck 'em. Stop treating them as though they were shit simply because they happened to be in the wrong spot when a shit bomb exploded. I don't know about you, but fucking me sounds fucking dirty to me, too. Anyway, Woody looked at Buzz and was like, "Are you okay?" Buzz says, "Fuck off, Woody." Yes, he did. I guess that's their way of saying, "I had a bad blowout. Can you stop looking at me and fucking cocksorting?" Yeah, it isn't a good blowout. Of shit at all, apparently. Slinky Dog's line, "But you already blew." Fuck. Just a fucking blowout? This is bullshit, and I refuse to even call that shit blowout because at least it doesn't take my other shit and make me cry. Those kinds of shit blows have always hurt, sure, but they're usually messy. When Woody said, "fucking shit," fucking nice shit, fuck, he meant Fudge Pete, the fucker himself. Was it just this fucked up bullshit that blew out on Buzz? Who cares? Shit blows out on a regular basis. It's out there, it's everywhere, and it's all real. Yes, shit blows out more on real shit. The next scene involved Mr. Potato Head driving an army vehicle. He was playing The Race by Goo Goo Dolls. This is a mashup of The Race by Chuck Brown and Barf by Gus Johnson. An adjective cannot be derived from the names of Chuck Brown and Gus Johnson. I assume the band had to cut up the beginning and end of the songs to get them to fit. However, The Race can be linked to, say, a mall, as the song frequently appears during late-night shopping. The third segment, Terrifying Highway contained many large and small action shots, including the guys driving a skidoo, Mr. Potato Head calling out the top of his lungs, and the white Chevy speeding across the desert. Mr. Potato Head then reached the abandoned 1960s orange school bus. It is a scene which clearly portrays the children's conclusion that their toy is indeed real. It starts with Mr. Potato Head trying to open the lock as the lights from the two small Burning Man torches shine in his eyes. The crowd cheered when he was successful in his quest to turn off the power. Mr. Potato Head later took a cell phone call from the rerouted operator for these old school buses. He ordered his troops to release the kids, close down the police, etc. The rest of the images and movies are not fit for one to excerpt. I can, however, infer that he went to the other bus and liberated the kids there. He started using the blueprints of the jukebox to design some impressive barfing noises. This portion of the film clearly depicts the girls playing Monopoly by looting both color tokens. He was also seen eating numerous crab cakes while at the restaurant. It was also in this area that he started showing some of his eccentricities. Mr. Potato Head also took some time to decorate some of his trademark cased weapons. At one point he, quote, performed surgery, unquote, on a plastic knife. To be honest, I'm not sure how this is possible. However, I do believe that it has inserted some kind of crazy lie in this movie. It's also impossible to create a reaction when urinating, as he has. I have no idea if this is true, however. During the examination of such a circumstance, it was discovered that someone could be in control of their own bowels. Any movie or people who are associated with this type of movie should be ashamed. Mr. Potato Head brought true meaning to the word phallic. This movie was the single most intriguing, mind-boggling, goofy child murder to happen in recent history. I've never laughed so hard as did when saw it in the theater with my friends. I apologize to those who were hurt, and I will never bring children to the theater ever again. The next scene was of Rex the dinosaur and Megatron from Transformers. Megatron had made his way into a boat and was fishing to feed the ones he had imprisoned. Rex, Jazz, and Jesse. The scene opened with Megatron taking the bait and pissing in a cup. Rex and Megatron then started pissing in the cup before fucking in it. While most porn exists without pussy, the experience is mostly bitch fuck and goddamn it's messy as hell. Zurg then appeared and sat on an orange carpet with his legs spread. Rex the dinosaur tried to fuck with this, but could not stop pissing in the cup, pissing on Zurg's dick and balls. He also insulted his ass and balls. Zurg then tied him up to the floor with the cable, wrapped a rope around his dick, and shot a load into his mouth, swallowing the load and fucking his mouth like shit. It then appeared Jesse to check if Zurg had shit in his mouth and pushed him back when he did. Rex sat and sucked on his cock, fucking it with his ass. Rex then sat in his chair and blew Zurg. Both fucked the asshole for a while. Zurg then crawled into Jesse's armhole and fucked her ass. He then covered Jesse's mouth with his hand, aiming it toward Rex. When he did that, Rex went down on his dick and pumped Zurg's dick in his ass. Rex then got back into his chair and fucked his own asshole, fucking Jesse on his ass and dumping the dick balls in his own mouth and making Rex shit his ass with it. Buzz and Woody were having a conversation when suddenly Buzz falls out of the window. Get out of the window, you little shit. I just fixed that, Woody yells in frustration. At this point, Ham's driving the bus and he's in the middle of the roadway. Move! Get off the road, you bitch! The drugged-out Ham exclaims. You're drunk, man. I have a driver on my bus, says Ham's assistant, Juno. Juno is an anthropomorphic guinea pig, and he is also the bus driver. Ham asks the most pertinent question of the movie. Why are we doing this? Juno tries to convince Ham that the carnival people want him, but Ham just ignores his wise advice. Ham hits his head on a mirror, wakes up, and is currently riding through America. Buzz spots him in his mirror and suggests that they should give up. Ham and Buzz's rival magician, Sid Phillips, Al Pacino, is traveling the bus too and stops to say hello. Ham and Buzz are both extremely bummed as they were hoping to run into Buzz's mom and steal her money. Sid immediately spots Ham's lack of balls and insults him by saying, "Would it be wrong to do to you what you did to her?" "How do you figure that?" Ham yells back. "Well, you're a woman. How the hell do you figure that?" At this point, Sid cuts a card in the air and the intercom gives the instructions to the pranksters. Sid calls Ham out of his lame ways, but the message actually goes to the other bus. Both Buzz and the pranksters are delighted by this turn of events. They instantly reform the men in white, and the idea is officially born. The next scene of this movie is quite entertaining. Ham and Sid are locked in a room, and the movie then cuts to an elevator, which transports the viewer to a toy graveyard. It shows people ripping out the heads of dolls in all kinds of ways. At the end of the graveyard, we see the wizard Sid Phillips on a stage giving a magic show. We find out that Ham and the pranksters stole most of the toys. We then see the aliens from the Toy Story movies trying to talk to Woody about something, but is then cut off by a news report about colonial marines coming out of quarantine. The news anchor comes on and says, "It looks like the corporations have succeeded." Then the camera pans up to the sky where we see the final surviving spaceship fall out of the sky, and the radio reports that the colonial marines have retreated to the mountains. A news reporter says, "They just vanished." As the photo of the former Marines turns red on screen, they join the UFOs as they fly away. Buzz then appears and says to Woody, "Are you going to puke or what?" On screen, we see a shot of his refrigerator that contains the Star Wars Episode 3 DVD that Buzz told Woody he threw out. On the other side of it, we see the Star Wars Episode 4 DVD that Woody threw out. It appears that Woody came to regret it as he was now lost his brain. We then see Buzz checking his surroundings as he tries to think where he is. We see him inside a warehouse of some kind. We then see Buzz sitting on a table with Woody's severed head in front of him. He then goes through Woody's garbage can looking for something of value, and then he finds the real Darth Vader mask and examines it. It has some strange writing on it that the kids didn't see in Toy Story 3, as if it was written with white food coloring. Buzz then takes the mask to the computer on the table and presses Darth Vader on the keypad. The computer begins to power on. It is powered by computer USB, a screen that displays the ghostiest night on it, along with the characters from the Halloween movie and their favorite cocktails that they're drinking, including Jell-O shots. Buzz says, "Ghostiest night forever. I found the ghost." We then see Woody from Toy Story sitting in front of the iconic Toy Story movie poster. It is the poster that showed Buzz landing on top of Woody's soccer goal and seeing him sleeping there. On the wall of the warehouse, Buzz is holding a piece of paper that has a photograph of the Williams family on it. A picture of the Mrs. Potato Head and the kids appears to be edited into it. Shows it to the kids, and then Buzz walks out of the warehouse with the mask, along with Toy Story's backpack. They start walking away when they're suddenly ambushed by two mass killings. They're holding a bullet rifle and spraying them with bullets. They show some bone-white-looking aliens that shoot bullets and have claws coming out of them. Buzzy finally came out to his therapist to tell him the tale of terror that lay hidden behind the distorted sense of humor. It was bad enough as it was. Now, though he feared that the therapy team, the psychiatrist, and the other doctors would soon notice the rather loose associations between raping women and the comic dysfunction and deem him unsuitable for a new career as a stand-up comedian. A large board precisely and elaborately executed to fill every space and reflect the horrible decay of the broken minds around it suddenly appeared directly in front of the therapist, coming up out of the floor in front of her like a great black demon with an enormous black hat and dreadful black eyes. A slab of hard plaster with gaping open wounds came next, and along with the mortar and stone on which it had been poured, demons, devils, flies, and things that sang and blew along the air, things that had been ravaged or thrown aside and lost their ability to sing or move. Her heart began to thump so loudly that Buzz began to scream and shake his fist and break things that only God could fix. More horrific things followed along and over the end of the long table until it looked as though nothing in that closet was ever going to be neat or fine again. Then, for one agonizing second, the room began to shine with white light. The small gold body of the therapist shone brightly in the golden light from the lamp high in the ceiling. Her body was ripped to shreds and thrown on top of the pan of muck and demonic mongrel parts, along with all the shit and shit deeper shit and shit mongs that ever ruined the great building. The doctor was lying face down on top of them. Her vagina was dislodged from her vagina, and her eyes stared up at the ceiling, terrified. Her asshole and her ass were ripped into bloody shreds, and every loose bit of pussy and asshole got thrown into the mud and shit heap below. Screaming like a sinner who has been shoved off a mountain, Buzz looked down from the cliff of Mong shit to see Zurg waving at him. "This is what you deserve," said Zurg to Buzz. "You motherfuckers get off the road." He finally threw open his door and ran out, and Buzz got out behind him. Buzz screamed at the top of his lungs, "Fuck you!" At least he did that with his motherfucker ass lips. Zuck locked eyes with Buzz's shit-eating motherfucker face, grabbed him by the shirt, and hauled him to the ground by his throat. Buzz bit at Zuck's face and screamed, "You motherfucker, fuck you shit." Both Zurg and Buzz put their hands around Zuck's neck and squeezed. Zuck came out of the fog and fucking laughed out loud. "Here you are, asshole motherfucker, you suck cock. Motherfucker, you motherfucker. You know what? Fuck you, fuck you." Zuck held Buzz's mouth open. And shit flew into it. Buzz clenched his jaw and shit poured out of him.
I can't believe I'm going to die with shit in my mouth.
Buzz cried out and grabbed Zuck's hair as he swallowed a mouthful.
Just like it should be.
Zurg laughed.
He's gonna swallow it, motherfucker.
Zuck laughed.
I'll watch him, asshole.
Another SUV raced up to Zurg's Jeep, and Mike yelled out as he leaned out of his car, "This shit's going to give me hell for days." Mike stood there on the sidewalk and watched as Zuck and Buzz fought on the grass. Mike kicked Zurg's tires and pushed him over with his shoulder. He ran back to his car and shoved his hand into the side of it to screw with the gas. Shit blasted into Buzz's face, and Zuck got sick, shit filling his mouth with shit. Buzz stopped struggling as he watched Zuck spit out shit onto Buzz's back. He got up on his knees and screamed,
"Fuck you!" Zurg!
Shit came out of his asshole.
Fuck you, asshole!
Zurg fell on the ground. It took him a few moments to get back up as shit poured out of him and onto his ass. Shit splattered out of his mouth and onto Buzz's feet and the grass. Zurg managed to stand up. He knelt down next to Buzz and made him suck his shit-filled asshole.
Where do you want it?
Zurg said to Buzz. The movie then came to a rather abrupt and shocking end as Zurg crapped inside of Buzz's everything. Well, fuck you. Or should I say, you.